Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lesson 8 of Microsoft Excel for Beginners. Today, we're going to be working on these items that you see on the right side of the sheet. The first thing I wanted to point out is when we do the filters, which I've shown you in a previous class, we'll remove them for now. When you have lines underneath or on the side, which you don't want to be included in the filters, you have to highlight the column headers that you want to be in the filter. You actually have to highlight everything so that it doesn't include what's underneath. For example, I'll try it first without highlighting. If you just put it in the column that you want and hit that, the filters are the filters automatically over the columns, over the rows that have items written in them. So as you see this line which is going around all of these, and the filters appeared on top. But when we filter, we don't want these to move around. So in order to make sure the filter is only over the ones you'd like, you could highlight them like that. And that would be within, you can see it's within this line. Sometimes it incorporates the lines underneath. For example, here total, I don't want that to filter. So now you can see it's within this line. You can't see it on the edges. So you see that's how that works. Sometimes you put the filters in and it incorporates parts of the chart which you don't want. So that was just a note that I wanted to let you know. There we go. The filters, here we go. So those are filtered. So that way when you sort these, you don't have any trouble with the totals. They stay the same. That's important, especially when you're doing formulas between sheets. So that's the filters. The graphs and charts, also you have to highlight which elements you'd like in the chart. So in this case, I want everything, and we'll keep it here in alphabetical order, but you can put it in any order. Maybe you want just the boys to go first or the girls, you know. So sort it by the rows that you'd like. But I'd like to be in alphabetical order. So you just highlight the chart that you want. Or in this case, since I want all of the numbers incorporated, including the totals, the easiest thing is to just highlight the top columns and it will pick out the information automatically. So you see here, insert a chart, and it shows that chart right now. And now as you can see, it's going to put them in the order, not necessarily how you want it to appear. I want it to appear on the bottom, and the BG, maybe not at all, or maybe I want that up here. So one thing you can do is just move the columns in the order you'd like them to be. So for example, here, I'd like to move the column. So you click on the column you'd like to move once, and left click again, and see how it forms like a hand grabbing. And when I try it the first time, look what happens. Tells me I can't, or I'll try to move this one over. It tells me I can't because it's crossing a merged cell. So if you forget, it will warn you. So click OK. So we couldn't move it. The merged cell is this one. There's something appearing here. I apologize for that. So we have to unmerge any merged cells until, we fix it, then we remerge them so it looks pretty. So since I'd like the names to be down here, I will grab that column, click on it once, left click again, and you can drag that column over. So now it's second, and see how the chart down here changes to how you'd like it. Or if you didn't want this column at all, you delete it. But so now it's how you want it. You can merge these cells again to make that pretty. And, if you need to center it, you may have to center it. Sometimes it's like that. All right, but it's the usual way. So that's how you make a chart. And you can change the style of the chart. You can edit it here and then choose, instead of that kind of chart, maybe a pie chart. Okay, wouldn't let me do that. Column gender must be numeric. Oh, I see. Okay. Perhaps for that kind of chart, it doesn't work. This would have to be numeric, apparently. So anyway, that's how you do charts. And again, I always encourage you to fiddle with the charts. And in this case, to delete the chart, one quick way is just click on the chart once, make sure that the outside has the squares, and hit delete. So now we want to calculate between sheets, which sometimes Excel sheets for accountants or big organizations, audits, when you've auditing a large corporation, many times you will have Excel sheets that have to calculate between the sheets. So in this case, we have this main sheet, and then I would have created a second sheet. And then let's say we want, we want some totals to go in here. So this one, as you can see, you can do it between sheets by clicking. I'll do the oranges now. Oranges, here, the sum, just as you usually do. But instead of entering something here, go back to the original sheet, and it keeps track of it for you, as you can see. And then, oh, I wanted just the boys, didn't I? Let's see if I can sort these now. I don't think I can. You would have sorted those first. Sorry about that. Let's go back quick here and sort them by boy and girl, because that was my idea. In real life, you probably wouldn't have the gender of but it was just to give more information. So here we go. So you have the ones that you're going to highlight. So sum, there's the formula beginning. Go to the first sheet, and I'll highlight all the oranges purchased or, picked by the young boys on the field trip. This is an elementary school that went on a field trip. So you highlight those and then hit enter, and it pops back here, and there's the total. And this total is already prepared with the formula. And so now, same thing. We're going to pick the apples that the girls picked. It's going to be a sum. We'll go to the first one, and these are the apples that the girls picked. I'm guiding myself by the G's. Hit enter, that appears, and one more time, sum, and we're going to pick the oranges. Enter. So as you can see, these totals, 92 and 81, you can check, they also match here. Another thing you could have done is just have it pick, this number. So here, apples, the total apples and the total oranges, we want it here. So you could just go here and say sum, and then just pick the actual cell. I could autofill, but autofill doesn't always work, as you can see. So 92 is what's in B5. See, we're in B5. And then, or I could have highlighted these two, any way you want to skin the cat. So here I chose the B5 just to hear. Here, as you know, you could do it same way. You could highlight this, or maybe you want to, for some reason, do that instead. Still, same number. But I'm going to just pick what's in there. What's in that one. So here it's only, as you can see, just the cell number. You don't have to do any kind of calculation. And then the total, again, use whichever you'd like. You could even go to the first page and pick these, this total. But as long as the numbers are the same, I could highlight these two, 173. If you want to check and make sure, this should be 173 as well, but just in case. Oops. I like to double check always, but it will be the same, 173. And then one more sheet. You can even do it in 3 sheets. Okay, the total is that. Okay, and then here, for example, maybe you just average per person. So the average is you add up all of the items and divide it by the number of people in this case, or the number of in this case would be the number of people. So let's do that one. So average per person. Maybe I could do average apples per person. Average apples per person. Of course, your chart would be a lot prettier and more official looking. Okay, so the average you have to calculate. Now you have to remember that the average is the total number divided by the other number, or the total number of apples divided by the number of apple pickers. So, and again, find however you need. So the total of apples is 92. We could pick that, for example. And then up here, we want to divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 people. You might put numbers on the side if you'd like. So put the number 9 there because we know it's 9 people. Enter. 10 apples and 22. 10, 22. It's not going to be. And same average oranges. Just to show you how it changes in all this sheets. Make this nicer looking. We can, per person. Okay. And here, I waste time making it pretty. Here we're going to do the average number of oranges. So here, sum, go back to here. We know it's 9 people now, so the oranges are, we could pick this or we could do that. And we divide it up here, divide it by 9. Always pay attention to the formula. Bar. No, I did something wrong. Oh, could that be right? No, it could be. Yeah. I guess it's 9 exactly. Put it in the middle. Yeah, I guess it's 9. All right. It was a coincidence that it came out the right way. Right? Because 9 forms graphs and tables. D14 divided by 9. Okay. D14. Oh, okay, 9 times 9. Yeah, it is correct. I thought it was, all right, so that's that one. Calculation between sheets. Of course, notice here, look at the numbers here. So that's 9 and that's 1022. So even when I change something here on the first sheet, let's see, like a 9 and a 12, remember the numbers over here. Now it changes. See, 1022, I didn't change anything, but I changed the oranges column, and see that updates automatically. Let's change something in the apples. I don't know. 23, so it should be bigger. So all of the sheets change automatically. 95 and 80, you see? And it updates automatically. And then here, 10, it's no longer 1022, it's 1056. So as complicated as your chart can be, that's how you just would have to change the first sheet and all the other sheets update. So that's how to calculate between sheets. Inserting images is easy. Let's see if I did it somewhere. Well, we can do it now. To insert an image, you have 2 options. You have more than. You can insert an image in the cell, and in that case, you might have the URL of the image. For example, let's pick a nice picture. All right, let's pick this food. I want to keep it non-controversial. So you could get the URL of the picture once a picture appears. So here, for example, ignore all of the. Okay, so for example, if we want We want this picture. Sometimes you just right click on the picture and it will let you copy the image link. So the link is now on the clipboard. Go back here and you can paste the URL in there. That's one of many ways, and I'm going to enter it here. See, and it appears inside the cell. You can center it. I have that actually here. I've been doing that. We've been following some cases and I put the names here with the picture, the mugshot, but you can use it for anything. Go back to lesson 8. Entered it here in this section. Okay. The other option is to put it outside of the chart so that you can move it around. So insert the image again, and I'm going to insert the image over the cells this time by URL. If you have the URL, you can also update. See, and now this one, you can move it around. This one is stuck in the cell. You can't move it around, but this one you can. You got to make sure the square boxes are around it. I'm going to delete that one. Okay, that's how you insert the pictures. I have 3 sheets for lesson 8 because we're working on 3 sheets. So insert the images. Okay, now we're going to work on forms. Before we do that, let's download to an Excel. Just go File, Download, and then choose how you want it. A PDF, Open Document, Tab Separated Values. Sometimes you need them that way for certain queries as a web page. So you just choose. So I'm going to choose Microsoft Excel, have it in this system, and then it downloads it to wherever you want. In this case, it's going to go to your downloads folder. So it's in there now, actually. We don't need to see it. That's self-explanatory. These two I put in red because there is a way to auto fit the columns. Like sometimes you type something in and it's too small, like that. There's a way to auto fit the columns in Excel. I haven't been able to find it in Sheets, but there is a button. So when you're in Excel, maybe do auto fit in the help file. And format makes it data, tools, theme. For example, you can easier to do it. So please look at those once you get into Excel. And the last thing we'll do is forms. Create a form first. Created. So this is how we'll create a form. This is something that you first create a questionnaire. So let's say last name, and we want a short answer there. We'll say it's a required answer. And just hit the plus sign, first name, and short answer pops up automatically, but you have all these choices. But I'll do the short answer. The next one, that one's required. For example, address. If this were a mailing list, for example. And let's do a multiple choice one. Let's pretend it's a party. What, any dietary restrictions? Okay, for example. I'll just do one more question after this. No, we want multiple choice, this one. So, for example, option 1, no. Yes. I'll just say vegan. I'll say here maybe kosher only, vegan only. Maybe I should say no dairy. Here, no dairy. Just to have something. Why won't it? Sorry about that. Why isn't it working? No. Should only add other. Why can't I enter it? Oh, okay. Not add other. Okay. What was I going to say? No dairy. Okay, and let's do one more. Required. If it's not required, you can leave it blank. And you can choose. Okay, let's do one more kind. A drop down menu, and these are the options. Option one. Option two, option. Oh, it's going automatically. Okay, there. So now we're done. So here's our form, and we want to send it. Let's say we want to send it to, we can send it to email to all the guests, or you can just get the link. So I'm going to shorten it here and then copy the link. So then you email the link to someone, or you can put it on your web page, embed it on your web page. But here's the fun part. So you've made your form, have your Gmail. Always it's going to be coming from your Gmail account. So last name, okay, Dardati. Like it's going to pop up. Look, it popped up automatically. Address, 5 Chestnut. This isn't my real address. Street. And no dietary restrictions. And I'm going to pick option 1. I guess I should have put a message up there. Submit. And so you're like, okay, where did it go? But you're the guest, so you don't know where it goes, but you're now the other person. Your form will always be in the front. Several. But I just entered in that form appears automatically here. So see again, submit another response. Let's do, okay, Smith. This just makes you not have to, imagine if you have 100 people coming to your party. You just email, before you send wedding invitations, sometimes you just warn people about the wedding and who's going to unofficially be coming. I just pick him. His name is Edgecombe Smith. Okay, it's because my address, I don't know, Timely Street, vegan. And then that's it. Option 3, your form would be more detailed with what you want. Then go back here and see it pops up there automatically. So all you have to do is unfreeze this because it's automatically frozen. It gives you the time. That's something that you can't pick. That's just when they responded, which is useful sometimes. And then here I would just unfreeze. How do we unfreeze? Here we go. No rows. Just so it does, so that it's, and then you just make your Excel sheet out of it. It's an Excel sheet. It says forms, but it's an Excel sheet. Options, for example, there. Then add your filters, and there's only 2 people here, but you sort it how you want, and just make it a nice sheet. And then put it close to where you want it. That's one thing. It's uncomfortable that it goes to the beginning of the sheet, but you can move that around. And that's it. So there's the class for today, lesson 8. And you go to the front and make sure I check off that. Of course, you guys, for when you guys come on, I'm going to uncheck all of these, but if I haven't done it, forms tool. Okay. Yeah, that's the class. It was a little bit awkward how I set it up today, but thank you for joining us again for your Excel class, and I'll see you again for lessons 9 and 10 to finish the beginners series. Thank you. Bye-bye.